My stay-at-home wife said, I hired a maid because cleaning is below me. You make enough money, so deal with it. I replied, you're absolutely right. Then I fired the maid, canceled my wife's credit cards, and served her divorce papers, citing redundancy. Her face when I explained that if I'm paying a maid, I don't need a wife. I 48M am a corporate efficiency consultant. My job, simply put, is to walk into a bloated company, identify the deadweight, and cut it with a scalpel. I look for redundancies. I look for employees who are collecting a paycheck but providing zero value to the bottom line. I live my life by a simple spreadsheet: input versus output. If the input money effort exceeds the output value happiness, you terminate the project immediately. No sunk cost fallacy here. I've been married to Tiffany 32F for 4 years. We have no kids, no pets, no goldfish. We agreed early on I would focus on my career, which requires long hours and brings in a very healthy high six-figure income, and she would manage the home front. The home front consists of a 2,800 square foot house in the suburbs. It has 4 bedrooms, 3 are empty guest rooms, a kitchen with appliances smarter than most of my interns, and a Roomba that does 60% of the vacuuming automatically. For the first year, Tiffany was great. Dinner was hot, shirts were pressed, life was good, but slowly the scope creep set in. Year 2, she stopped cooking. It makes the house smell like onions, she said. We switched to a meal prep delivery service, $800 a month. Fine, I like the variety. Year 3, she stopped doing laundry. The iron is too heavy, she complained. We started using a wash and fold service, $400 a month. Fine, I hate folding. Year 4, she stopped everything. Her day, as far as I could tell via the security logs as in credit card statements, consisted of Pilates at 10 a.m., brunch with the girls at noon, and manifesting on the couch until I got home. She became the CEO of doing nothing. I let it slide because I was busy with a massive merger in Chicago, and frankly, it's easier to throw money at a problem than to argue with a woman who thinks hard work is choosing the right filter on Instagram. But last Tuesday, the system crashed. I came home early, 2 p.m., because a client meeting canceled. I walked into my house expecting silence. Instead, I heard the hum of a vacuum cleaner. I walked into the living room. Tiffany was lying on the chaise lounge, wearing a silk robe, sipping a green smoothie and watching the Kardashians. A strange woman was on her hands and knees scrubbing the baseboards. I stopped. Tiffany, who is this? Tiffany didn't even pause the TV. She waved a dismissive hand. That's Maria, the new maid. I blinked. A maid? Tiffany, we have a cleaning service that comes bi-weekly for the deep clean. Why is there a maid here on a Tuesday? Because the house was messy, Mike, she huffed, finally looking at me with the annoyance of a teenager asked to empty the dishwasher, and I simply couldn't deal with it today. My chakras were misaligned. Chakras, I repeated. Okay, but Tiffany, your only responsibility is the house. We have no kids, we have no pets, you have a meal service, you have a laundry service. What exactly are you doing? She sat up, her eyes flashing with entitlement. It was the look a queen gives a peasant who asks why the brioche is stale. Look, Mike, she snapped, I'm done with the scrubbing, it ruins my manicures. Honestly, cleaning is below me. I'm a modern woman, not a 1950s scullery maid. You make plenty of money, stop being a cheapskate and just deal with it. I deserve to relax. I am the lady of the house, not the staff. Cleaning is below me. I looked at her $200 manicure. I looked at Maria sweating over the baseboards. Then I looked at the mental spreadsheet in my head. Cost of wife, $12,000 per month. Warded share, allowance, lease, Mercedes, insurance, shopping, chakras. Output of wife, 0. Cost of maid, $150 visit. Output of maid, spotless house. The math was screaming at me. It was a flashing red cell in Excel. Negative ROI. Immediate liquidation recommended. I smiled. It was the smile I give a CEO right before I tell him he needs to fire his brother-in-law. You know what, Tiffany? I said warmly. You are absolutely right. She smirked, settling back into her pillows. Glad you finally see sense. Grab me a refill on this smoothie while you're up. I'm not getting you a smoothie, I said. I'm getting a calculator. Phase 1. I walked over to Maria. She looked terrified. Pardon, senior, she whispered. No worries, Maria, I said. How much is she paying you? $150, senior. I pulled out my wallet. I handed her $300 cash. Just here is double. Please pack your things and leave immediately. You are fired. Murphy looked confused. Tiffany looked confused. Tiffany hired her, I know, I said to Tiffany, and I'm unhiring her. I turned back to Maria. You did a great job. This isn't about performance. It's about performance. It's about corporate restructuring. Go. Maria took the cash and bolted. Smart woman, Mike. Tiffany screamed, the baseboards aren't done. I am not cleaning them. I know, I said soothingly. I agree with you. It's below you. I walked into my home office and locked the door. I sat at my desk. I cracked my knuckles. It was time to execute the layoff. Step 1, the accounts. I logged into the AMX portal. Authorized user Tiffany. Recent transactions. Sephora $400, Lululemon $50, the Juice Bar $85. Action cancel card. I logged into the Visa portal. Authorized user Tiffany. Action cancel card. I logged into the joint checking account. This was the account I dumped her allowance, plus hold operating expenses into. Transfer funds, personal savings. Individual balance remaining, $0. Step 2. The asset recovery. I logged into the Mercedes-Benz Financial Services portal. The lease was in my name, but she drove it. I initiated a voluntary early termination request. I scheduled the pickup for tomorrow morning at my office. I would drive it there tonight. I walked out of the office. Tiffany was standing in the hallway fuming. "You are being so dramatic," she spat. "I'm going to Nordstrom to buy a dress for the gala. Don't wait up." "Have fun," I said. "Don't forget your receipt." She grabbed her purse. The Louis Vuitton I bought her for surviving the stress of planning a vacation and stormed out. I watched her drive away. Then I went to the kitchen, made a sandwich and waited for the fireworks. Phase 2, 2 hours later, my phone didn't ring. It vibrated with the rage of 1,000 suns. Missed call Tiffany, missed call Tiffany. Text, my card was declined. "Mike, pick up the phone," the cashier said, declined in front of everyone. I am mortified. I took a sip of my beer. I texted back. Standard procedure for a cancelled account. Cost-cutting measures. We are tightening the belt. 2-4 projections were low. Text, I am at the Cheesecake Factory and I can't pay for my salad. Come here now. I laughed so hard, I nearly choked. She went from Nordstrom to the Cheesecake Factory. A true woman of culture. Reply, dishwashing is a noble profession. Maybe you can work it off or ask Maria for a loan. She came home an hour later. She must have used the emergency $20 bill she keeps in her glove box for valet parking. She burst through the door looking like a hurricane in designer heels. "You humiliated me," she shrieked. Do you have any idea how embarrassing that was? I had to call Jenna to Venmo me money for a salad. Jenna, she hates me. She thinks I'm broke. Jenna sounds astute. I said, not looking up for my iPad. Why did you cancel the cards? We are restructuring the household. I said, I ran the numbers. We are over budget on non-essential personnel. Non-essential? She looked like she'd been slapped with a wet trout. I am your wife. Correction, I said. You are a stay-at-home wife who doesn't stay at home and doesn't do wifely things. You are a lifestyle consultant with one client and the client is unhappy with the service. I'm not cooking, she screamed. I'm not cleaning and you are sleeping on the couch. I won't be sleeping on the couch, I said, because it's my couch. In my house paid for by the job you think is an infinite money glitch. I stood up. I'm going to bed. The Mercedes is going to the office with me tomorrow. You might want to download the bus schedule. Phase 3. The next morning Tiffany came downstairs. She looked ragged. She hadn't slept. She expected the fight to be over. She expected me to apologize and hand over a new black card. She sat at the table. Okay, I'm ready to accept your apology. Turn the money back on and I won't tell my mother you had a mental breakdown. I placed a single manila envelope on the table. Tiffany, we need to have a performance review. A what? A performance review. It's standard corporate procedure before termination. I opened the folder. Let's look at your KPIs. Keep performance indicators for the last fiscal year. Cooking. 0 meals prepared. Cleaning. Outsourced to vendors. Made laundry service. Emotional support. Negative score. See Hackras incident. Financial management. $4,000 month over budget. I looked at her over my reading glasses. Tiffany, if you were an employee, you would have been fired for cause 6 months ago, but because we have a contract marriage, I have to do this formally. I slid the papers across the table. Petition for dissolution of marriage. She picked it up. Her hands were shaking. Divorce? You're divorcing me because I hired a maid. No, I said. I'm divorcing you because of redundancy. Redundancy? Yes, you see, yesterday you established a key fact. A maid can do your job better, faster, and cheaper. If I pay a maid $300 a week, I have a spotless house. If I pay you $12,000 a month, I have a dirty house and an attitude problem. Therefore, the position of Tiffany has been made redundant by Maria. I am eliminating your role to streamline operations. I don't need 2 people to not clean the house. She stood up, her face turning purple. You can't do this. I am your partner. I am entitled to half. I will take the business. I will take the house. Actually, I pointed to page 5. You signed a prenuptial agreement 4 years ago. Remember, you were so eager to lock down the provider that you barely skimmed it. It's ironclad. You get what you came in with, which according to my inventory is a 2016 Toyota Corolla, which is at your mom's house, and a box of fast fashion shoes. Oh, and per section 8 subsection C you get a one-time relocation stipend of $5,000. Don't spend it all in one place. That prenup won't hold up. I was under duress. You had your own lawyer, I reminded her. I paid for him. We have him on video explaining the terms to you. Your cook, Tiff, she threw the papers at me. They fluttered to the floor. I'm not leaving. This is my house. I have rights, squatters' rights. Actually, I checked my watch. It's 9 a.m. The movers will be here at 10. Movers? Yes, I paid for a white glove service to pack your personal effects. Consider it a generous severance package. You have 1 hour to separate your Sephora haul from my assets. If you can't decide, I'll decide for you, and trust me, I'm very efficient. Phase 4, the next hour was the funniest thing I have ever witnessed. Tiffany went through the 5 stages of grief in about 45 minutes. 1, denial. She sat on the floor crying, but we were going to go to Italy. Response, I am going to Italy. You are going to Ohio where her mom lives. 2, anger. She tried to break the Nespresso machine. Response, that's coming out of your $5,000 relocation stipend. Keep going and you'll leave here owing me money. 3, bargaining. This was the best part. Okay, I'll clean, I'll show you, I'm not useless. She ran to the kitchen. She grabbed a sponge. She looked at it like it was an alien artifact. She grabbed a bottle of bleach and tried to spray it on a mahogany dining table. Stop, I yelled, grabbing the bottle. Jesus, Tiffany. That's bleach, you'll ruin the finish. I'm cleaning, she sobbed. You're destroying assets, I said. You don't even know how to clean, you're unskilled labor. It would cost me more to train you than to replace you. 4. Depression, she collapsed on the rug. I can't live with my mother, she makes me eat carbs. Acceptance. The movers arrived. 3 burly guys named Tony, Sal, and Vinny. Pack everything in the pink room, I instructed, and the closet on the left. Leave the electronics, leave the furniture. If it looks like it was bought at a kiosk, pack it. If it looks expensive, ask me. Tiffany sat on the front steps, sobbing into her phone. Mom, he's firing me. He called me redundant. He replaced me with a Roomba. I heard her mother screeching on the other end. I took the phone from Tiffany. Hello, Linda, you monster. Linda yelled, she's a delicate flower. She wasn't made for manual labor. She has anxiety. She can't work. Linda, I said, if she's a flower, she can go bloom in your garden. I'm returning the product. It's defective. It doesn't work as advertised. I don't have room for her. Linda panicked. I turned her room into a craft room. I'm doing scrapbooking now. Well, you better scrap together a cot, I said. She'll be there by dinner. Phase 5. Tiffany left at noon. She tried to take the Dyson vacuum cleaner. Put it down, I said. You said cleaning was below you. Why do you need a vacuum? It's pink, she wailed. It's $600, I said. Tony, put the vacuum back in the closet. She left in an Uber paid for by her mom. Her Toyota Corolla had a dead battery at her mom's house, so she was officially a pedestrian. 2 days later, she tried to re-enter the house. She didn't have a T, but she tried the garage code. I had changed it to the date of our divorce filing. She didn't guess it. She stood at the doorbell camera. Mike, let me in. I need my moisturizing cream. It's the Lamar. It's $300. I spoke through the speaker. Submit a ticket to procurement. We'll review it in 3 to 5 business days. I hate you, I know, but the house is quiet and clean. Goodbye. Update. It's been 6 months. The divorce is finalized. The prenup held up like a tank. My lawyer said it was the easiest case of his career. She essentially terminated her own contract by refusing to perform duties, he joked. She got the $5,000 stipend in her car, that's it. I hired Maria back. I pay her $300 a visit now. She comes twice a week. She brings me homemade tamales. The house is spotless. My shirts are ironed. Total cost $2,400 a month. Savings compared to Tiffany, $9,600 a month. I took the savings and bought a classic 1969 Mustang. I named it the Severance Package. Tiffany is currently living with her mother. I heard from a mutual friend that she hit rock bottom. She tried to get a job as a lifestyle consultant for another wealthy family in town. She walked into the interview wearing Louboutins and demanded a $100 salary. They laughed her out of the room when they realized she couldn't even organize a pantry. She had to get a real job. She is working as a receptionist at a high-end gym. Apparently, part of her job is wiping down the sweaty equipment after the meatheads use it. The irony is so delicious I could spread it on toast. She went from refusing to clean her own luxury home to wiping other people's sweat from minimum wage. Last week she sent me a long email. No subject line, body, I've been thinking I was wrong. I shouldn't have said cleaning was below me. I realized that a partnership is about sharing the load. I'm willing to come back. I'll cook. I'm watching YouTube videos. I'll clean. I'll do whatever you want. Please, Mike, Mom is driving me crazy. She makes me pay rent and she critiques my eyebrows. I didn't reply. I just forwarded the email to Maria with a note. Job security looks good, Maria. Then I printed it out, framed it, and hung it in the laundry room, a reminder to never hire unqualified personnel again. I'm currently sitting on my clean couch in my clean house watching the game. Gentlemen, take it from an efficiency expert. Marriage is a partnership. If one partner thinks they are too good to contribute, they aren't a partner. They are a parasite, and you don't negotiate with parasites. You call the exterminator.